Let's go. Your Highness Radio, Your Highness Podcast, whatever you want to call it. We are live and direct here in the crib with Back Zack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks for blessing us. This is just the third podcast here, man. So it's really exciting to have you.
I'm honored.
I feel, like I said earlier, it's a full circle. You know, you were my blessing in the very beginning of Your Highness. And now here we are at the end of the year. It was like, what, January, maybe February when we did our interview?
Yeah, that sounded about right.
Well, that's right. So, you know, we're like full year later, you know, like here we are again. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be amazing to talk to you about where you've been this whole year, you know? I mean, even though I know where you've been and not everybody else does. So yeah. I'd love to talk about that. But, you know, as you've already experienced in the past, you know, interview, I love to talk about the things that really matter, mm-hmm. you know? And a lot of those things, us as artists, we don't get the chance to talk to people about because we have this persona, we have this, you know, face to carry with, right? But and these kind of interviews are like the perfect opportunity to get to know you a little deeper, you know?
I agree, yeah.
And I've been seeing you doing a lot of other podcasts and different interviews.
Yeah, I've been definitely been doing several lately, which is great, you know. It's good to just talk to different people about different things and to different audiences. And yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So how far out have you been going for these interviews?
Let's see. I went to Antioch for one. I went down to San Rafael for another one. Some local, some through like Zoom, you know, a little bit of everything. Just.
Wow, you're active.
Oh yeah.
Over Zoom, huh?
Oh yeah. I'll interview however we got to interview. You know, just.
That's right, and actually that makes me think of the performance I saw that you did. I think it was for Luther Burbank Center. Can you tell me about that performance?
Oh man, that was amazing. Yeah, so the Luther Burbank Center. I think everybody, if you're in Sonoma County, you know exactly where that's at.
Of course.
Just to name one, only Chappelle's been there, but a lot of people have performed there. So it's a really prestigious venue out here. Mm-hmm. And I'd heard they was doing something called Luther Locals, where they would have somebody come monthly and do, or it might be bi-monthly, but you come and perform. And, you know, you might not have to have a big name, but you're a local artist and whatnot. So I was communicating with them. And then they also mentioned they do something that's kind of basically like Tiny Desk, essentially, where, you know, you film your content, boom, you do something live, preferably with a band. And you submit it, and then if they like it, they post it, and they help you push it. And then they also invite you next summer to a live performance.
Hey, so is that what's coming up?
Yeah, I guess you heard it here first. Your Highness got the exclusive. Next summer, that's the plan.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Shout out Luther Burbank.
Shout out Luther Burbank, for real.
They do not just, you know, host people to perform, but also do a lot of things for the community. Yeah. They've got like a whole art school behind them and all kinds of wonderful things. Like, so if you guys don't know about Luther Burbank, definitely check them out. They are super amazing part of the community for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Well, before we keep diving into these events and things like that, like, let's let people know what you're really about, right? Like, so what would you say your music, like what genre does it fall into?
You know, I pride myself on being at this place in my life where I don't really have a genre. I would say it's a fusion. You know, if anybody's followed my music or heard a handful of my songs, none of them really sound the same. I like to experiment, and not even so much experiment. I just got so comfortable with my songwriting ability that most beats I hear, if I like it, regardless of the genre, I can rock with it. But I do tend to lean more into R&B, funk, soul, hip hop, a gumbo of that.
Yeah, well, definitely. I like how you describe it as a fusion, because I definitely feel like there's a lot of different influences in each one of the songs, and I have to say yes, indeed, because I've heard all of your music, and I definitely think that there is not one song that's like the other.
I appreciate it.
Seriously, and I would not just say that just to say it either. You know, like for real, that's real. No. But so you mentioned like fusion or like funk as well as hip hop, but what is your favorite that you actually love creating? Like, you know, where you feel like when you're in the booth and you're like, oh, I'm in my zone right now. Like, what song is that? Or what genre is that?
You know what? It might surprise some people, but I would have to say probably R&B. And that's changed over the years. It's not evolved into that because where I grew up, coming up in Compton, I mean, I was exposed to, you know, the NWAs, the Snoop, the Dre, the Ice Cubes, you name it. You know, that was a big influence on me. I still love West Coast rap. I still do it. So that was big for me. But as I got more and more just into the music and working with my voice more as an instrument and training it and getting a little better as a singer, you know, I just started diving a little more into melodies, melodic,
definitely
R&B, more smooth.
I definitely think you're in the bag for sure when it comes to that. I mean, we just played Flow Like Water, right? And literally, like, y'all both, you and Kitty. Shout out Kitty.
Shout out Kitty for sure, my brother. Talking to him.
Yeah? Kitty knew you were headed this way?
No, I was, you know, we didn't get that far in the conversation. We both can be bad texters, but we usually face-to-face hang out and chop it up. But that's my guy. Super, super talented singer, rapper, songwriter, amazing.
Super amazing, yes indeed. That's the brother for sure. I've witnessed you, like, you know, this whole year have multiple shows as a headliner, and I'm extremely proud of you for you know, accomplishing these different shows. And I've always seen it, nice handful of people showing up to support. And even new fans almost at every show, you know, where you're just like giving it your all, and honestly, great performances. But if you could open up for somebody, what artist would that be?
Just one?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I stopped. I know you said one, but I'm torn between Kendrick Lamar or La Russell. Either of those two I'd be good with.
Okay.
I would love.
Okay. Hey. Well, honestly, this whole year I've witnessed the magic of manifestation. Mm-hmm. You know? So this is my purpose of asking this question, is because I want to see you manifest that. Yeah. And, you know, if it's in my means to make you manifest it too, I will definitely make that happen.
Okay. I'll hold you to that. I always show support, always show love. I appreciate it all.
Of course. Obviously, there are some fans listening to us here on live IG, but also they will be communicating with us over YouTube, hopefully, because, you know, they better subscribe.
Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. If you could give one message to your fans, what would it be? Because you got plenty of fans. We all know.
I would say I appreciate every single listen, any feedback, any like, any comment, especially referrals. Just, I think it all helps me a lot, and I appreciate it, and it keeps me going. I do it for the passion. I do it because I love to do it. But a huge cherry on top would be just the love that I get. You know, no matter what, just somebody saying, "Oh, I like this song," or liking a post, or all that engagement helps. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say I appreciate any kind of energy put towards my music and my love, period.
Nice. Yeah, definitely appreciation towards the fans. I mean, as an artist, we are nothing without the community. We are nothing without the community. I think that it's really important for us to give them their flowers, because they really play a very important role.
Oh yeah. Very
important role. And that feedback is so important, you know, because it's like, it really pumps you up with so much energy, like, oh, okay, I did something good, you know, I did something good, something that people vibe to, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, like I mentioned earlier, you know, it's been a solid year. If you could give me like the top 3 best places that you've performed at, where would those places be?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I did a lot of shows this year. I'm really proud to say 2024, I did the most shows by far I've ever done.
No, active, guys. Like, seriously, active. Yeah. So active.
My top 3 would probably be the California
The California Theater out.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I performed there with the Phoenix Dancers.
That's right. Shout out Phoenix.
Shout out Phoenix Dancers for sure.
Hey.
The California, the Lost Church, and the Old Cast Festival, which I've been doing for the last few years.
Okay, where's that at?
So that's over at Roner Park. They have a new tap room over there off of Petaluma Hill Road.
Okay.
Not too far from SSU, a little down the way from SSU. So they got a new tap room over there. You know where Sally's Tomatoes is at? It's in the same parking lot as Sally's Tomatoes.
Okay. Man, so you're really doing your thing in Sonoma County.
Oh yeah.
And anywhere else in the Bay?
Let's see. I did a show in Oakland at. Sorry, I can't think of the name of the venue. But I did do a show in Oakland at this art museum, which is really dope.
Oh, fire!
Oh yeah, it was amazing. It was just the windows and the doors was all glass, and they had these really cool art pieces up. Really cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm working on expanding more out that way.
Yeah.
To the East Bay, South Bay. Working on a couple things in LA.
Oh no, for sure. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't want to ask that question because it's all about positivity here.
I mean, ask whatever question you want. I'm an open book. So it's all.
Well, I know we're really close to the end of the year.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes people decide to take a chill, pill during the holidays. Is that where you're at, or are you just gonna go, out with a bang? Do we have anything coming up this upcoming month?
Yeah, I actually have a show. Tomorrow, whenever you see this, is December 14th, which is tomorrow.
That's right, Saturday. Yeah.
Yes. In Ukiah, I'm doing a show for James. My boy James is releasing an album.
Hey, shout out James.
Yeah, shout out James. So I'm doing a show out there. It's my first show in a month, actually. It's the longest span I've gone without doing a show.
Okay.
Because November, it kind of lined up. I didn't have a whole lot come in November, but I did turn down a couple things because of family stuff. No matter what, I always go down to LA to see my family for Thanksgiving every year.
Yeah, it's important.
Yes. So I had a show booked around that time, but I couldn't do it. So it really gave me November to kind of just regather myself, continue to create, rehearse, and take other bookings and stuff like that, and kind of gather myself a little bit because I was all go the whole year up until that point. So, and we'll close out the year with this December 14th show in Ukiah.
Okay.
And then I got several shows January, February booked up.
Okay, right away, into the new year.
Oh yeah, once 2025 hit, I'm hitting the ground running.
Let's go.
We keeping the momentum going.
Wow. That's amazing. And that momentum is fast, man. I mean, I can seriously relate. Because lately I've just been kind of like feeling like I'm kind of tired, but I'm like, this is the moment where it matters the most. This is the moment where you have to push through and you have to keep going, But I do want to honor the fact that we do need to find some time for ourselves to slow down sometimes. Because sometimes if you don't, life will just put a halt on it for a second for you to do you a solid, But it may not be the best way to slow down,
Yeah, you get so busy that sometimes you may not take care of yourself. You stress out a little bit, and that could be, to your point, that'll slow you down if you don't, manage that right.
Yeah, totally. And, I just really want to just salute you for the support that you show your friends and, your fellow people that through music and things like that. So shout out James. It's his album release party tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just super cool.
Yeah, also on that bill is Dave's Margaritas on that bill.
Hey, shout out Dave.
Nico Otis is on that bill. And then DZ Grove is also on that bill. So we're going to be rocking it on tomorrow in Ukiah.
That's fire. It's going to be fire. I know I'm going to do the very best that I can make it because I was invited as well.
Okay. Yeah, I understand Ukiah is it's a mission.
It's a mission.
A little bit of a mission. It's a good probably hour 10 from here. Shameless plug, LBZ Music, LBZMUZIK on Instagram. You can find me on that. I constantly posting flyers. It's funny because people, it's so funny, people be like, yo, when's your next show, bro? Like I just put it on my story 8 times, but I also get that everybody don't always see it. So
yeah.
But it's on there. I try to keep it consistently in the stories and on my page. So
hey, you do a great job with the whole social media thing, for real.
I appreciate you saying that because it's not easy.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
to be consistent, constantly, you know, nowadays with social media, you gotta constantly stay in people's face and stay consistent because that's where the algorithm is.
That's the way the algorithm works, exactly. So I just wanted to ask that question is, how do you feel like social media has impacted your music career?
I think it's impacted it a lot as far as the reach and the growth of the audience. No question. Unfortunately, social media has become the hub and the main place where marketing and promotion is done for most things, to be honest. You know, there's billboards, there's commercials still, and the radio still, of course. But social media is definitely the top dog in that right now. So
yes, I definitely agree.
Yeah. So
for the positives.
For the positive, to be honest and transparent, it can take a toll on you because if you let it, social media can swallow you up if you get too caught up in validation or the optics of it or being too self-critical and things like that. It can swallow you up and kind of put you in a tough place with it. But over the years, I continue to work with just like anything else, relationships with friends, love relationships, you got to kind of work at it sometimes. And that's been my experience with social media, just finding a good
balance.
Good balance, a good relationship with it. But it's helped me tremendously. Once I started being consistent with it, I started to see the results. And that momentum we was talking about, I saw it. And I understand how momentum works to where you got to strike when the iron is hot and keep that going and just keep doing this.
Exactly. And learning the way it works too, like figuring out the analytics, like, you know, when you get most views, all these things, it can get kind of crazy and intense, but I think it is really important to find a balance, like you mentioned, you know, understanding that is just a part of where you can shine your reality, but your reality is really here physically and being present in the moment. So obviously as an artist, probably writing for you or like, you know, maybe listening to beats is a different way to unplug from that and really be in the zone and be like present. Super cool. And so how long have you been making music, like in general, like all together? Like,
there's a few answers to that. I know you like give me an answer. I'm like, no, I got 3, you know. But
that's fine. You can give me as many as you want.
Okay, because there's when I first picked up a pen and started writing poetry. There's that era where I was like 8 or 9. But then it was when I really started to try to do music was around like 12. Me and my brother Mary, shout out to Mary, free him. He out in Florida right now. Miss you, bro. We used to always steal my mom's, this is gonna date me a little bit, but we used to steal my mom's tape recorder. Some people, if you're watching this and you know.
I know what that's like.
Under 22, you probably don't know what a tape recorder is.
You're right.
But yeah, we used to steal that take it from my mom and like be by the TV, playing a CD and a DVD player and like rapping 12, 13, over the beat. Just trying to get it recorded so we could play it back. That was the best we could do.
So cool.
And then I got deep into basketball, so I kind of put music down for a while, and I picked it back up when I was 18, which is 2009.
Okay.
So officially, I've been doing music since 2009. But when I really, really went all in with it and just all, you know, balls to the wall, so to speak, was probably, I say good for maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
But I've done it throughout. It's just like, I wasn't always consistent with it.
For sure. No, I think that you're definitely in a different phase of your career. But it's really cool to like date it back way to like when like writing even became a part of your life. And I think that those are the origins of hip hop, you know, originating from writing and poetry to, you know, obviously elevating into understanding musicality and how to write music, which you're very talented at.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of hours, a lot of time, man.
Definitely. Lots of years under your belt, for sure. And so being in the industry for that long, like what are some things that you would like to change in the industry? Like as far as just like in a general question, like, you know, including record labels or no record labels or even streaming platforms, like what would be like an ideal system for you or something?
You know, as far as when you say record labels, I immediately think about how I hate how music on a mainstream level has taken the art form, which is music, and really watered it down. And what I mean by that is not across the board, but with music going from, vinyl to 8 tracks, whatever, cassette, CD. And then once it got digital, then it became about the money because, there was a shift to where everything became digital, and then it was like streaming came. And now it's like streaming has put everything in one place, which is great. If I put my phone out and on Spotify, I can play any song I want essentially. It's great, but it's taking music in a unit of it and just kind of minimized it, and really they've created their own price for what the stream is worth. And it's made it tough for artists to make money off music. And it's just made music more disposable. Because since you're not making a lot of money from the music, now you're doing more of it. And now music's coming out all the time. Albums used to live longer. You used to get an album and you play it for weeks and weeks, months, and sit with it and really digest it.
Because it took that much time or more for it to come out.
Exactly, more effort for it to come out, and it was looked at with more value.
That makes sense.
Now even the biggest albums come out sometimes, and we talk about it for a week, and it's like, okay, what's next? If that, sometimes it's not even a week. So I think that watching that whole art cabinet it's kind of disheartening a little bit, but nonetheless, if you love it, you continue to do it. So that, to me, that probably would be the main thing with that. And then on a more general level, the only thing I don't really like about some of the industry is that people want to put you in a box, right? So you this race, you from here, so you do this kind of music. Oh, you don't do this kind of music? Oh, I thought you did this kind of, people sometimes people are thrown off by me all the time. They're like, oh wow, like I didn't know what to expect, or like I get all the time too. I don't really listen to hip hop, but what you're doing, I like it, So it's just interesting how people's perspective, they look at certain people and feel like, oh, this is the genre they should be doing, or that they are only supposed to do.
No, and that's why I loved your answer when it came down to like, what genre do you consider yourself? Because there are some artists that will be like legit, like, no, this is what I make.
Yeah.
Like just one specific genre, but to hear you say you love to do the fusion of things is just like, it really speaks of your versatility as an artist, And I think that that's great. Nobody wants to be in a box, honestly. Nowadays, that's not cool no more.
And to be clear, I respect if somebody has a niche, or if they find a pocket or genre that they enjoy and they want to keep doing that, power to you. I think that you should be open, or you should be, I guess, allowed to do whatever you want. Music-wise.
Definitely. Freedom is definitely important, and I think that we should always value that as artists, to have the freedom to create whatever we want to create.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's important, and it's also key for you as an independent artist, right? Is that where you're headed for like the rest of your career, or do you have any other plans coming up?
I just had this talk with my boy a few hours ago. It's funny, like, I lie everything I just said about the music industry. I also can see how it's slowly shifting. The Russells, the Nipsey, rest in peace. Rex Lightwatch, cats like that's really just doing more independent grind, more direct to consumer. Because the more you study the music industry, the more you see where it's headed, you realize that labels aren't necessary. They're just really banks. They're giving you a loan. They're not doing artist development no more. They're not really marketing you that much anymore. They're not doing a lot of things they used to do, which made the labels, appealing.
And valuable, yeah.
And valuable. So now it's like, well, if you're gonna just give me a loan and lock me into a deal and then own all my music and control how my music is distributed, then I might as well just build my shit from the ground up, with social media and everything. So I'm at a space now where I like the way Nipsey did it. Nipsey did it great. He stayed independent for a long, long time. He was in the streets. He was pushing. He was getting his music out there, growing his fan base. And then when the time came, he had a lot of leverage to where he could do a partnership with a label for distribution, which I think makes sense if the numbers and everything looks right. That's pretty much where I'm at. I want to stay independent, continue to grow my fan base, and make a living off music. I don't need 5 million fans. If I got 5,000 people that rock with me and will come to shows and pay for merch and support, That's really all you need.
That's all you need. Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a very humble mindset to have. It's almost like, you know, sometimes less is more, you know? And that concept of just valuing, like, if I got 3 people in the crowd that really love my music, like, that's all I need, you know? Mm-hmm. I definitely can resonate just from my personal take and experience lately, you know, performing and things like that. And I'm like, if I see like one person vibing like to my music, that's all I need, you know? That's all I need, for sure, for sure. Man, it's been great over here having you here at the podcast. But I do still have a few more questions before I let you go.
Okay.
I would like to know, because I've been watching you and your endurance throughout the whole year, like going nonstop from a really amazing show to another really amazing show. I know you must get tired. Yeah, you're Superman or something, but with the mic.
Man, wow.
What makes you so resilient?
You know, the generic answer is just like, oh, I love it. I love doing this music. But it is true. What keeps me going is the fact that
you love it.
I really enjoy doing it. My number one thing I enjoy doing is performing. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about energy off air. I think energy is very much present at all times, whether positive or negative, whether received or given or both. And when I'm performing, I love the feeling of being on stage. Number one, I'm performing things that I created from the ground up, you know, working with a producer on the beat, coming up with an idea, seeing it all the way through, watching it being released, people reacting to it, and then going to a show and seeing people that haven't heard it, hearing it for the first time and how it affects them. People that love it, them hearing it, seeing how it affects them, is just everything for me. I've always loved to perform. You know, I used to do Easter speeches in Sunday school, and even at school, I did a couple performances at school. I've always liked being in front of people, mm-hmm. and I enjoy seeing them receive the energy, and they give it back to me, and it's this ping pong of energy that's just that I never get tired of. So when it comes to shows, yeah, sometimes I get tired. Sometimes I, want to relax and do nothing. But speaking of going back to momentum, I feel like I got to keep it going. And I'm enjoying every show I do. Every single show I do, I gain more fans, more followers. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why would I stop?
Yeah, so you're definitely seeing what you're like reaping your fruit from what you're planting every time that you've done a performance or that you showed up anywhere in general. Okay, wonderful. That's awesome. It's awesome to hear the love. But honestly, that is the strongest force in the universe. Yeah. So if you love something, then hit on full force, because you got force of love behind it. Mm-hmm. So you headed somewhere. And then 2 more things. One, a little bit personal, and you may choose not to speak on it, but you can.
Open book.
And I am a parent myself, so I always love to give my little one a shout out. So what are some words that, could describe what it feels like to be a father?
It's a good question. Life-changing, humbling, very organic, natural, emotional, so many things. Kids really do teach you a lot. Mm-hmm. I used to hear adults say that when I was a kid. Oh, I learned so much from my kid. My kid has taught me so much. And I'd hear and be like, oh, man, they supposed to say that, Then once I had kids, it started to click for me after a while. And I'm like, wow, mm-hmm. You see kids and you realize that things can be so simple.
Yeah.
A lot of times we complicate things. We overthink things. We think too much into them. Watching a human in its purest form, it really can teach you a lot if you pay attention. It just shows you, we don't really need a whole lot either. We just need the very essentials. Mm-hmm. We want to be loved. We want to be safe. We want to be fed. And it really stops there, essentially. And then just the love factor. Mm. People always talk about it, but you can't talk about it enough. Like you were saying, that's the most powerful force.
Yeah.
Just watching a kid, that you created, and then watching it grow, and they look like you already take mannerisms from you.
Yeah.
And you really know pure unconditional love. Because you may not get that in a relationship. You may or may not up to that point. But a kid is so innocent.
Yeah.
You brought him here, you love him, and that love never dies.
Yeah, definitely. No, I can definitely relate. My kiddo is like a spitting image of me too. So I definitely can relate. And that love is really something real. Like, you don't know it until you have your own. Honestly, that's wonderful.
Man.
Well, I would love to give you the opportunity to do any shout outs that you'd like to do that will be on the podcast here. As a closure for the year and for the interview.
Okay. Well, first off, big shout out to Your Highness Radio.
Hey,
I love what you're doing for the community. You always feel like so pure and authentic, and you really love what you do, the people that you do it with. Shout out to Lisa for always holding it down and being such a big support to the community.
That's my MVP. Yes.
My shout out list is so long as far as like homies. This is what I'll do. I got a new project that just dropped called The Features.
That's right.
This is 7 tracks, 21 minutes long. Songs over time I've done with my favorite artists in the area. Some friends, some become friends. But really talented people that I've done records with, and I've specifically picked these tracks to put them on. And I specifically went through 6 or 7 different sequences to make the order make sense and make the album flow really smooth. So check it out, The Features, Back Zack, everywhere you listen to music. The artist on there is Erica Ambrin, which I'm a huge fan of. Amazing artist, singer, rapper, plays the guitar, everything. Just amazing. I'm a huge fan.
So talented.
Yes. Nims has been my homie since 2014 or so. He doing his thing. A shout out to him. Above average. Much love to you as well. Really talented artist out of Sonoma County as well. I've been trying to do a song with him forever. We finally did it.
Yeah.
People love it. I love it. Jay Lately as well from Sebastopol. Who else is on there? I also have shout out to Avi, my brother, since 2010, one of my first friends out here. E Muddy. Shout out to you as well, big friend of mine also. And then finally, my boy Ron, Rodesy. Those are the artists on the project. Shout out to any artist I've worked with, any artist that's been supporting me, any person that's been supporting me, my family. Mama, I see you. My kids, I love y'all.
Hey.
Yeah.
Family is a must. Man, well, thank you so much for blessing us here at Your Highness Podcast.
It's over.
It is over, but honestly, like, anytime, you're always welcome. Anytime you can shoot me some radio edits, I keep you on the radio.
Okay.
It's been a full year that I've just been slapping.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much.
Yes, definitely. And I know that, many people don't listen to the radio, but it is something important to keep alive, So I encourage our listeners to hop on kwtf.net and hit that donate button. You could choose to do a one-time pledge, or you can choose to do a monthly pledge, which really goes very far as far as keeping the radio alive in the community. So,
yes.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep this platform alive for sure.
Definitely. And once again, follow me on Instagram. Not Back Zack. It's actually LBZ Music, but it's spelled LBZMUZIK.
There you go.
Was took.
Let's
got to get creative.
Hey, good show. And Maui Love, of course, like always, MAUIL0VE. Let's go. Don't forget to subscribe.
Sure. LBZ Back Zack here with Maui Love. Much love.
Your Highness Radio, over and out.